I am a financial advisor with Britam. I have well over 10 years in the insurance industry. I'm also an alumni of the Wealth Creation Masterclass. And for me, that was an eye-opener. It was able to change a lot of aspects of the way I see money. Some of the top 5 insurance plans that I would recommend for young people are savings plan. We call them endowment policies. And for endowment policies, we would recommend a longer period. Reason is when you are young, you have the advantage of time and you may not have much resources because anytime you do a longer plan, the rating comes out very favorably for a younger person. Unlike an older person, expecting to get a similar kind of a return will end up contributing more. I'll give a basic example. Let me work with an amount of like 5,000. You would get $1 million in 12 years, and someone else doing 5,000 for a period of 5 years will end up getting 300,000. So you realize this person doing 5 years may probably need much more, like 15,000 to actually get to the 1 million. But for you who has 5,000, you have the advantage of time, so you can take a longer period and get a benefit like, say, $1 million. Of course, $1 million is just an example. You can go all the way up to 100 million. The other plan that I recommend for younger people is a money market fund. A money market fund is a short-term account where you can access funds and you would put it as an emergency fund. You never know when emergencies will come, and the money market fund comes in handy. If you need the funds, you can access it, and within 2 to 4 working days, you get your funds back with interest. It is a much safer place to put your resources than putting it in the bank, where there is a temptation to always access your funds on a regular. Another plan that I would recommend is also long-term retirement plan. I know retirement sounds more for the older ones, but anytime you start employment, you start thinking of when you will leave. And anytime you start earning an amount, you want to set aside an amount that will top up what your employer will give you at the end of your employment term. The other policy that we have is a medical insurance. Besides the NHIF that we have with the government, and if you're well taken care of by your organization, you would still choose to top up what you currently have. Or what if you totally do not have any medical cover? It is a cover you want to consider paying a minimal amount, even say like 50,000 for an individual. You get a cover limit of up to 500,000 inpatient only. This is a cover where you can get services from a private hospital and good services for that. In case you own any property, starting from a house and the things that are in the house, we have what you call a home insurance policy, domestic package. It has many names, but basically it is home insurance. It covers your home, but in case you do not have a house, it doesn't mean you cannot take this cover, because you can also insure what is inside the house and any movable property that gets into the house. And it is also a very affordable cover for the benefit that you will receive in case you lose these particular items. So as a young person, depending on the goals that you have, depending on the resources that you want to set aside, what you would call the disposable income, we advise based on the target. I have met young people who are really into saving, and because they don't have a lot of expenses, some of them probably live at their parents' home before they go to their apartment, and once they do, they don't go to a very high-end apartment, and so they set aside funds which later on they come and reap, and it becomes a plus to them. So always check your goals, always check how much you want to set aside and the duration. I would advise you as a young person, because you have the advantage of time, always consider taking a long-term plan. It always comes out in the long run. You end up getting a higher benefit, and you have a possibility of increasing what you set aside, because what you set aside now, where you are right now, is not where you'll be in another 5 years. You'll have been promoted, you have changed ranks, and of course now your earning has improved. So anytime you get an opportunity, and there's an incremental fund, it's an opportunity for you to increase on your savings.